And
Well, the appearance of these girls would be evidence enough, wouldn't it?
These were not 12-year-olds. These were not 13-year-olds. There were what was testified to is that some of them looked young. And having multiple teenagers myself, looking young does not mean you know someone is a minor.
You are welcome to yet another episode of HN What's Your Say? The #1 listening show where we discuss real issues with real people like you. We are still featuring R. Kelly. Real name Robert Sylvester Kelly. Also known as the R&B King. During the New York appeal, R. Kelly's lead attorney Jennifer Bonjean left no stone unturned, during her attempt to make the appeal judges understand why she believes R. Kelly was wrongfully convicted when it comes to certain counts such as RICO violation, Mann Act charges and the infamous forced labor claims which have never been explained. While she explained her RICO theory which completely differs from that of government and the Brooklyn trial judge Ann Donnelly, she outlined a number of points which hold so much water, and also referred to previous cases handled by the same justice system differently from this particular case against R. Kelly. And this shows just how petty our system can get to change their line of judgment just so they can lock up a single American citizen for life. The court cannot continue to contradict itself, Bonjean insisted. If in the Boyle versus the United States of America case, the element of a common illegal purpose was regarded important by the Supreme Court, why would the same court now try to rubbish it when defendant is R. Kelly? Without repeating much of what we already discussed in our previous video release, we can't deny the New York appeal process was punctuated with plenty of drama, as one of the judges raised rather interesting questions that did not only interrupt Bonjean's submission, but also left listeners baffled as to why he would even think and argue this way. At one point when Bonjean was arguing out the theory of the enterprise suggesting that R. Kelly's employees never participated in any criminal activity, and only featured on the transcript to have invited show attendants backstage and sourced some phone numbers without necessarily knowing what R. Kelly did with these women in his own private space. In fact, they are also being accused for having continued to pack R. Kelly's luggage on his behalf and book his travels and those of the people that accompanied him, which is not proper. When Bonjean mentioned that in fact there was nothing illegal with this, one of the appeal judges who had been quite loud through the hearing could not help but say R. Kelly's employees should have seen that these were young women from the looks alone. To be precise, he used the words "but the appearance of these girls would have been evidence enough that they were underage." It's so baffling to learn that a judge at appeal level would think the appearance of 17-year-olds going to 18 would be evidence enough to show any onlooker that they were indeed underage. In fact, some supporters and fans of R. Kelly are challenging this appeal judge to an age identification test, where he be presented with a combination of 17 to 19-year-old females for him to identify those that are actually underage from those that are of age, for he would fail miserably. For him to have made such an argument while ignoring the importance of finding the evidence is only a sign of prejudice in the appeal court already. And this is the same prejudice that did exist in the trial court, where preponderance of evidence was used as an approach in determining a criminal case. The trial court jury and judge drifted off the evidence presented and opted to make assumptions, and to base their decisions on mere hearsay, forgetting that this was not a civil case being handled but a serious criminal matter. What the evidence says is that some women who came to attend R. Kelly's show and danced on stage ended up backstage with R. Kelly. There is nowhere where the evidence says, and then they declared they were underage. If anything, even when the age issue came up, they made sure to lie to R. Kelly that they were 18 and over. And the same evidence also suggests many of these women, such as Lisa Van Allen and Faith Rogers, were 18 and over, even though Lisa attempted to lie she was 17 with the help of the government. I thought for any qualified judge, it would be always important to follow the evidence as is and not word of mouth, which can be easily reduced to hearsay. And this was the missing link between the two trials against R. Kelly and the possibility of finding justice. If only the two juries had stuck to the evidence presented, we wouldn't even be having this conversation. Today's discussion is not to in any way trivialize the role of the appeal judges in helping the attorneys present their arguments, or to make anyone think that all the judges were wrong in their opinions. In fact, the other two judges did do a great job in helping both the state attorney and attorney Jennifer Bonjean outline their points clearly, and they were ready to have a conversation, which is the essence of the appeal process. But this particular judge who asked this disturbing question at instances kept repeating matters Bonjean had already explained in a way of challenging her intellect, something which did not sound so nice to the ears of those who were listening in. An example is when he kept on mentioning that Bonjean was not challenging the jury instruction, and therefore the decision of the court should stand. It sounded like he was already making a ruling even before the matter could go to deliberation to allow the three judges to contemplate on the two presentations made by the opposing attorneys. While his opinion was in fact welcome for discussion, he should have stuck to having a legal discussion and not attempting to challenge the defendant attorney in what sounded like utter prejudice. Another very disturbing fact is how some judges are always hesitant to refer to previous decisions taken by the same Department of Justice they work for. Decisions such as in Boyle versus the United States, which Bonjean kept referring to, yet it's such previous cases that are supposed to guide the department's future decisions. Remember, the same Department of Justice cannot be disagreeing with itself when the name of the defendant changes, since they all swear never to prejudice any individual based on their gender, race or religious beliefs. The judge should have therefore listened even more closely to her references to such previous decisions taken by court in order for him to learn more about what a RICO enterprise actually is. According to Ronald, there are in fact many instances R. Kelly's attorney Bonjean was unnecessarily interrupted, perhaps hoping to derail her from her points, but thankfully she always had her issues on her fingertips. She made the best presentation I have heard an attorney make, and for sure, if the appeal court is what it's said to be and that is a factory of justice, R. Kelly will survive this prejudice. Bonjean clearly stamped out the RICO charges and left them hanging without any support. She also successfully hammered the Mann Act violation claims. I guess if she had enough time to explain why the forced labor charges are false, she would have done a good job there as well, but what she said to a wise is in fact enough. R. Kelly is surely winning this appeal, and hopefully this will have his sentence slashed, or the entire case overturned. According to Robin McQueen, I am glad that R. Kelly has Bonjean as his lawyer, and am glad that God has given her the gift of being a good lawyer that knows her stuff. She is a blessing to R. Kelly. I'll hope when he gets those shackles off his feet that those women who helped put them on his feet, that he and Bonjean go after them and sue the hell out of them for the injustice, along with the wrong that they did to R. Kelly, which he didn't deserve. The government as well should be held accountable for their illegal actions. If you wish to take part in a live interview on this channel discussing any of these topics, let us know by emailing us on sashahnnewsroom@gmail.com for scheduling. That is all we had for you today on HN What's Your Say? To keep updated whenever we post a new video, subscribe to this channel now. Also remember to hit the bell icon and enable notifications. And feel free to share your opinions with us in the comment section below, and let us know if you would like us to publish your views in our next release. We value all our subscribers' opinions.